Chef D. Sharon. I'm back. So initially I was going to make a dish that was a little bit more savory and fine dining. Okay, so I'm gonna show you just quickly how to dice up an onion. You want to peel it, cut it in half. Gosh, I should have did the whole one so you could see the side. You want to keep this side intact, just so it's kind of like an anchor when you're cutting. So I'll just do. Try not to have your fingers out. You want to curl them under. That's a good rule of thumb, so you don't cut them. And then cut down the middle, and that makes it a little easier to do your dice. So that's just an example, and that's how they look. Okay, so I'm gonna just go ahead and do some potatoes. You just want to dice them up really. They can just be a rough dice because you're just boiling it, but you do want to kind of roughly the same size again so that they cook evenly. So I'm just kind of doing some quick little cuts here. Okay, so I've just diced up some potatoes. So I'm gonna hit you with some knowledge, fun food fact. So shepherd's pie is made with lamb meat. That's a traditional shepherd's pie. We're gonna use ground beef. That is called a traditional cottage pie. Fun food fact. All right, so we're gonna go ahead, put the potatoes in, you're gonna put them in boiling water. You're gonna boil them until they're tender because you're gonna have mashed potatoes. So what I wanna tell you is if you are on a budget, like most of us are during the coronavirus pandemic, you can actually buy like a bag of frozen vegetables, mixed vegetables. That way you don't have to do a lot of cutting and prepping. And it's pretty simple that you can put whatever you want into your shepherd or cottage pie. So if you want green beans, because you know you have frozen bags that have green beans, corn, mushrooms, and I'm not ever gonna forget my vegetarian and vegan friends, because I'm going more to plant-based as well, is that instead of having meat, you can use lentils, cook those up, and you can also do a lot more of mushrooms. So they also have a vegan Worcestershire sauce. There's a lot of things that you can get that's, you know, vegan-based, plant-based. So let's get started cooking. Okay, so now we're just gonna go ahead and assemble. You're gonna need some olive oil or canola oil, whichever one you choose. I like to have more of a high quality olive oil, but hey, if you have to get a cheaper oil, do what you have to do. So you just wanna get 2 or 3 tablespoons of it. I'm gonna turn this on. This is a very simple dish. Once you get started, like I said, you can get things already kind of pre-made. You don't have to do a lot of chopping or cutting. The only thing you might have to do, and I love the fact, I don't use it, but you can get boxed mashed potatoes, instant mashed potatoes. Who knew? I usually just get my own potatoes, but again, you can do that, and it's gonna save a lot of time. I love it. So you want to just kind of saute your carrots. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. I don't want them to fry. You don't want it to burn. So you're going to saute your carrots, your onions, garlic. It's kind of like your mirepoix, but usually mirepoix would be like celery, carrots, onions. But if you have like a white one, it's all kinds of different kinds. But this is going to be what you're going to use to have like to season your baked seasoning. Pepper. They're gonna be salt. It's gonna be some rosemary, a little bit of thyme. I usually get it kind of ground up. You can get a sprig of thyme. Whatever you want to do. You're also gonna have some red wine. I always say a good rule of thumb is if you can't drink it, don't get it. So just get regular. It can be the cheapest red wine or white wine in your house. It does enhance the flavor a lot. So, and yeah, I do have it from time to time. It's Jesus juice, I'm just telling you. Okay, you want to pause just a little. I'm gonna go ahead and add in our ground beef. And I'm gonna ground it after I wash my hands. Like I said, this is such an easy dish to do. If you are like super lazy, and I'm saying lazy because that's me, sometimes I will not want to cut up stuff. Okay, so now that I've let it cut down a little bit, I'm gonna add some tomato paste. You can do, let it kind of melt down right now. Okay, so while we're on a break, I did let it simmer a little bit. I went ahead and added some beef broth, or if you're a vegetarian or vegan, you can do vegetable broth. Again, I added the tomato paste, and I'm letting my potatoes boil. You are going to need a glass dish. I had a bigger dish out earlier, guys, so while I was gone, I did add in some beef broth, just so I didn't want it to be dry. I added some more seasoning because everything for me is to taste, so I'll give you the recipe, but you alter how you see fit for you. I added, again, some oregano, rosemary, some thyme, salt, pepper. I kind of keep it basic. I'm not trying to, put too much in there. I did add a little bit more red wine. Just let that simmer a little bit. The mashed potatoes, they're boiling. The potatoes are boiling, and they're almost done. So when I come back, I'll show you how to assemble everything. I had a bigger dish. I decided to go with a smaller dish. Just because it's not a lot of people in the house, and if you do get a smaller dish, it's just going to make it a little bit thicker as opposed to having it thin out. So I decided to go with the smaller one. So I'll be back. So the potatoes are done boiling. They're tender. You can check with a fork. I added in some milk. Well, actually heavy cream. Me, I like heavy cream, but you can use milk. I did a half a stick of butter. So now I'm going to just season it up and mash them. You can put whatever you want into your mashed potatoes because they're going to go on top. So if you want, I was going to do some chives, chop up some chives and have like a chive type thing. It's not going to happen today. So sorry. Just kind of mashing it up. The butter is soft. Again, if you get boxed mashed potatoes, they're going to be super, super smooth. For me, I wouldn't necessarily get that. That's not my thing, but I would say for you, yes, it's easy. It's super fast. Go ahead and get the mash. They'll be extra, extra smooth. I like a little chunkiness to it. I don't want it like extra smooth. That's, and if you do get potatoes and you do it homemade, if you want to invest in a potato ricer, that will make it extra, extra smooth. And so what I'm going to do is after I assemble it, I'm going to actually add some cheddar cheese to the top. So most kids tend to like that. So we're going to go ahead and do that. But that's what it looks like. Hey guys, I'm back. Everything is, the potatoes are done. They are mashed. I added, some heavy cream, salt, pepper. That's about it. A lot of butter. And so while we were at break, I decided to throw in some mushrooms just to make it a little bit more hearty. So I added some more mushrooms. Of course, I had to, adjust my seasonings. More red wine. I added some more beef broth. But we're pretty much ready. It's done. And so we're going to assemble. We're going to go ahead and start assembling to put in the oven. You're going to preheat your oven at 350. You're going to have it in the oven for about 40-45 minutes. It just depends on your oven. Everything is is basically cooked. So it's all about just letting it kind of bake a little. Towards the end, I'll add some cheddar cheese and let that kind of get all bubbly and melted like. So I'm gonna add this. And I just wanted to show you, these are some amazing, they're like little cups. My mom got these for me. They're cute, they're little size. My parents give me such amazing gifts. But they have like the little measurements inside. So I just like them. I use them when I'm cooking. She got them for me while I was in culinary school. So I'm gonna go ahead, start assembling. And it's kind of hot, but you'll get the idea. Just kind of spread it out. Now we're gonna add the potatoes to it. And you're gonna have to be kind of careful because, you know, of course, potatoes are kind of sticky, and just kind of smooth it over. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay. So I finished assembling it. Now I'm gonna put it in the oven. I usually like to try to have a pan here because I don't want any spillage with anything. My stove, or my oven. So I'm gonna put that in there. We're gonna let it sit. Once it's about, and I'm gonna put a timer on it. So I'm gonna put it like 45 minutes, 45 minutes always works. And let it go about, let's say 15 minutes before time is up. I'll put some cheese on it, stick it back in there, maybe put the broiler on to give it like a nice little brown, make it bubbly, and I'll see you back. Okay, I think it's ready. We're gonna go ahead and pull it out. Ooh, it looks great. I added the cheese. Oh my God. It looks amazing. We're gonna let it cool for like 10-15 minutes and then we'll be ready to plate. Okay, so we took it out of the oven, letting it cool. It's done. So this is your Sheppard, actually cottage pie with ground beef and assortment of vegetables. You can put whatever you want, once again. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe. We're going into the summer months, so I'm still wanting to do more family-friendly, budget-friendly meals, but they'll be more geared towards summer meals. It's too hot to be doing the oven. So I hope you enjoy it, and yes, I do have a beverage. It is tea. It is tea with vodka. Sorry, Uncle Junior. Hope I didn't disrespect you in any way, but see you guys next week.